When you grow up being involved with the Jewish Community Center, it's a big part of your life. You never think that you're going to be serving as a board member. And wasn't something I really aspired to, but I was part of a Hellsberg leadership program. And it was a 2-year program. There was, I think, Barnett Hellsberg did that for a few years, 3 or 4 years. And so I was nominated to be a part of that, and it was a 2-year program with a trip that it culminated with a trip to Israel. But it instilled, well, there's an obligation. You're part of a Jewish community. I had been to Israel. I could see that in ways that the Jewish people that they were vulnerable. I knew from the history of the J that they had to start a separate community center because the Jewish people couldn't go to the places, the YMCA or places like that. So it was an element of security. So all those years, after being in Hellsberg's program, there's a sense of an obligation. But still, I didn't volunteer, put up my hand, but I was asked to see if I was interested in being a board member. And I thought, you know what? I love this place. It had a big impact on my life. So I joined the board, not knowing what that would mean, but it was interesting. There were issues, that we had to deal with, some serious issues about the management and so forth. But it was a good experience for me because I got to watch how the chairs of the board, what responsibilities they had, how they conducted the meetings, how they got everybody involved, and progressed and was asked to be an officer, a vice president. I accepted that, not knowing how far I would go and not really having an aspiration that I really wanted to be chair. I figured that if someone thought I was capable and I was a good leader, it would come. And sure enough, I was asked to become the board chair-elect, to serve after Gary Weinberg. And I accepted that. And but as you learn from various involvements and experiences, you never know what you're going to experience as it becomes your time. Because each of the chairs before me, Bob Grant was the chair when I first got involved, and then Gary, their issues were different. They were some challenging issues because the role of the board as it relates to the staff, they're two different roles. The board is more of an operational, strategic planning. We don't operate the J. That's not our responsibility. But there's challenges when you try to create that teamwork and that partnership. So it was an interesting experience watching the leaders ahead of me and not knowing what you were going to experience. And what was good is that during the last year of the previous chair, you got to be involved maybe at some of the meetings with the current CEO. And you could see the dialogue and understand what some of the challenges were and see where the conflicts were. So it was a really interesting experience. And then in 2013, or I think 2014, it was my turn.